Guys, it's no secret that you can DIY a smart home security system these days. I mean, Amazon is littered with smart security cameras and systems to choose from, many of them from brands that you've never heard of, promising seamless installation setup and integration. But I am here to tell you from personal experience that DIYing something as important as smart home security and automation is not for everyone, even those of us who are pretty tech savvy. So when we moved into our new studio here and it was time to get this place dialed in with a security system, I charted out everything I needed and wanted, and it immediately became clear that Vivint was the way to go. And frankly, I could not be happier with how this has all turned out. So today, I'm gonna show you how the Vivint smart home security system we got not only protects this space, but actually saves us money and makes our lives and our jobs a whole lot easier. And when I'm done, I think you'll see why going with Vivint was way smarter than going the DIY route too. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison, and let's get this out of the way right away. This is not an ad for Vivint. This is not a sponsored video. Everything I'm gonna share with you is 100% my opinion and perspective. I really do feel like Vivint is one of the smartest solutions for smart home security, and I'm gonna show you why. Full disclosure though, Vivint has provided the hardware and installation of this system for free so that I could make this review, but has zero influence over the content of this video. So with that in mind, let's go. So here's the thing about this studio space. It is loaded with expensive consumer electronics and professional video gear. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. There's a lot to protect here, myself included. Now, this studio is also located in a super high traffic neighborhood, and you would be shocked at how often folks just post up right outside our door and have conversations. Like, we're in a super popular, trendy area just outside of downtown Portland, and we're surrounded by public-facing businesses, so folks just kind of make themselves at home around here, which is great, but it also gets in the way of our video production, and I can't be having that. That's gonna be relevant in just a moment. Anyway, when I sketched out what we would need out of a smart home security system, I wanted essential security stuff like door sensors and window sensors and glass break sensors, but also safety stuff like flood monitoring, fire, smoke, and carbon monoxide monitoring. All of that helps keep our insurance bill low, which by the way is just the first of several ways that this system helps pay for itself. I also wanted cameras both as a deterrent and so we can keep an eye on what's going on when we're away. And I wanted a system that could help me save on energy bills through automated climate control as well as automated lighting. And speaking of automated lighting, I wanted to be able to use voice commands to launch this space into studio mode for video recording and then to shut down the studio for a more conventional workspace environment, which meant automating a bunch of different operations. All of that? It's a big ask, but what we have here from Vivint makes it all work. And for as comprehensive as this getup is, it's one of the most hands-off pieces of technology I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with. Well, it is now. More on that in a moment as well. So first, let me show you what all is in here, and then I'll tell you about how it all works to make our lives easier and more comfortable while practically paying for itself. Because I think you're gonna want the same thing in your home once you know what it can do. So all the window and door sensors are small, unobtrusive, battery operated, and wireless modules. No wires for power, and they wirelessly connect to the Vivint Smart Hub that I'll show you shortly. We have both indoor and outdoor cameras, and these operate off of wall power, which was professionally installed by my local Vivint installation professionals who, guys, I gotta tell you, these installers have been a pleasure to work with. They've been kind, courteous, super knowledgeable, and considerate, and on time, every time. That counts for a lot with me. I've worked with other companies where the installer showed up in an unmarked white van, and I swear, I was not sure I wanted to let them into my home. Vivint hires and trains amazing professionals, and I'm thankful for that anytime I need to interact with them. So we got an indoor camera with motion sensor, we have a Vivint doorbell camera here, and we have an outdoor camera here monitoring and protecting this entryway. This camera is also a motion detector and it provides lighting at night, but it is also a deterrent. If anyone hangs out here for more than, well, I have it set at 30 seconds, a big red ring lights up on the camera itself. It makes a pretty loud whistling sound, though you can change the sound it plays as an alert. It records everything, and then this light pops off, letting folks know they should not be here. It also follows people around as they move around the area, letting them know that they are very much being watched. Now, I can set up the security fencing. I get notifications whenever someone triggers the deterrent system. And of course, I instantly see whoever is ringing the doorbell. I get pinged on my watch, my phone, and via email, and everything is recorded in the cloud so I can review, save, and download video footage anytime I need to, which actually helped me help a neighbor recently who had some property vandalized a few months ago. All of the security and safety stuff is easily managed either through the Vivint app or the Home Hub here. I can view the cameras, talk through the cameras, all of that. We also have smart deadbolt locks. I can set up codes for guests that start and stop when I say. So like if you're running an Airbnb, for example, you can easily grant folks access and security credentials only for the time they stay. But in this case, it helps me manage who has access to this studio and when. And it's all monitored by Vivint. So if any of the alarms go off, Vivint immediately reaches out with text notifications and emails followed very shortly by a phone call. And if there's a problem, they immediately call local authorities to get them dispatched. Safe to say, I feel like I and all this expensive stuff is well protected 24/7, which makes me feel great, and it makes the insurance company feel great enough to give us a much better rate than if we didn't have a security system. That's like money in the bank. But the real genius of this system reveals itself when you start looking at the climate control aspect. So we have a smart thermostat here, which does allow me to set up temperature ranges for heating and cooling according to the seasons or the time of day, and according to whether someone's in the studio or out running errands, or even if we're just out on vacation. You have manual control of all of that, and you can set it all on a timer too, if you want. But that magic comes in with Vivint's AI Smart Assistant. Guys, this system has learned over time what my habits are, when I'm here, when I'm gone, how long I'm gone for, when I'm likely to come back. And it has access to the smart cameras, the motion sensors, and the door locks. So if I take off for a gig in the evening, it adjusts the temperature to save on heating and cooling costs, and then automatically switches back into residential mode when I return. It also knows when you go to sleep and when you wake up, so it can adjust the thermostat automatically at night and again in the morning. Guys, I compared the heating and cooling costs from before we had this system and then after, and I'm not kidding, we're saving like $70 to $80 a month just off of heating and cooling costs. Like I said, it's like the system starts paying for itself. But that's not the only way it saves on energy costs. I think a lot of folks don't know this, but Vivint does smart lighting and smart power management too, which has not only saved us money on our electric bill, but it has made day-to-day operation of this studio like not just easy, but fun. I mean, I love it so much. So Vivint offers these smart power modules, or you could call them smart outlets, that allow you complete control over when power is fed to devices. You can automate them to turn on and off on a schedule, and you can remotely control the power. You can even create scenes and routines, which I'll show you in a moment. So even if you have fixtures that aren't smart, you can make them smart using these wireless power modules. And then there's Vivint's smart light bulbs. Now, I'm gonna tell you all about how awesome these are, but I gotta be honest, this is one area I really wanna see Vivint expand and improve. And I think they will move that direction based on some of the feedback that I've offered them. Because right now, these smart light bulbs are the only option available, this size. You can't get different bulb types for different fixtures, and you can't integrate third-party smart bulbs either. You have to use Vivint's bulbs. And while the color temperature is variable in white from warm to cool, as I'll soon show you, they aren't RGB, so no colorful party vibes out of these. I'd like to see more variety and the ability to use third-party stuff moving forward. Fortunately for me though, these do everything I need them to do. They all wirelessly connect to the system via Wi-Fi, and they are all individually controllable through the app, through the hub, and by using a conventional style but totally wireless switch like this. So the lights can be programmed to come on automatically at a certain time, to go off automatically, to be triggered when the system is armed or disarmed. They can be triggered by the door locks being locked or unlocked, so they come on automatically when I unlock the door or off when I lock it. They can be set to various scenes, but for me, their ability to change color temperature and be turned on and off through routines has made it possible for me to completely automate the lighting in this studio for work purposes. Let me show you. Hey Google, turn on studio. So with that voice command through Google Home, all of the house lights are now going to shut down. All of the studio lights will power on, including our background scene area here. The thermostat has now been adjusted so the HVAC doesn't make noise while we're recording. The locks close to shut down and secure the place. And the deterrent on the outdoor camera is now turned on to let folks know they need not loiter outside while I'm trying to record. Then, when we're done, hey Google, turn off studio. We can automatically power down all of the studio lights and then bring on the house lights at whatever color temperature I want. Daylight during the day and warm during the evening. The thermostat is adjusted again, and I don't have to flip a single switch or lift a finger. I kid you not, every time I do this, I'm saving like 4 minutes of running around and flipping switches. I've also got some of these lights set up to come on at sunrise each day and then go off at sunset, which, believe it or not, is what keeps all of these plants alive since we've had to block out all the natural light in here. With all of that light and power operation, I'm saving roughly $20 a month on our energy bill. I'm safer, my life is a whole lot easier every day, and it can be for you too. Vivint tells me that smart lighting is one of the most useful features that a lot of folks don't know Vivint offers. Well, now you know. And I think it's one of the most desirable features that they offer, in my opinion. Now, I will say that getting the smart light bulbs set up, tracking which bulb is which, I mean, we've got a lot of them, naming all of them, it's a fair amount of work. It's a little more complicated than I think it needs to be. And like I said before, I just want to see more bulb options. I'd like to have all of the lights in here be smart. But if the fixture, like our bathroom lights here, take a smaller bulb, it's just not an option. Fortunately, Vivint's installation techs handled all of the more complicated installation aspects. It's just one area where I think Vivint could stand to improve. You know, just so you don't think this is a gush fest review. My only other criticism is that sometimes the cloud video playback can be a little delayed and choppy, at least at first. Ultimately, I get exactly what I need and want, but it's a bit clunky. To be fair though, I've had similar clunky experiences with other platforms, so it kind of seems like that's the state of affairs with some cloud video platforms. Overall though, I've been thrilled with this Vivint system. I can't believe how excited I am about smart home security right now. But I mean, I think it pays for itself each month. Like most of the DIY systems that you might get, there is a monthly monitoring fee, and some of them charge for cloud storage too, but some folks stand to save more money than they spend with a system like this. So it makes sense to me. And with Vivint folding in even more smart energy management like solar and energy storage in the coming months, there are going to be even more savings to enjoy down the road. I think that's one of the other things that I like about Vivint as a company is that they aren't resting on their laurels. They're anticipating developments and integrating them in real time. So that's my review. I mean, I'll take Vivint over Comcast, Brinks, or ADP any day of the week. This system has provided peace of mind, savings, convenience, and yeah, even fun. When was the last time you could say that about your security system? If you haven't checked out Vivint yet, I think you should. I think you'll be delighted. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Like this video if you found it helpful. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. We'd love to have you. I'll see you on the next one. And until then, here's 2 other videos I think you might like. Me, ma, ma, mo, moo.